Hello, boys and girls. Today I'm going to be reading your Chapter 1 test. We have gone through all the lessons so far in Chapter 1, and it is definitely my belief that you guys are very ready for this. I'm going to just read you the directions so that you know what you're supposed to do for each problem. So your test is only a few pages, and I'm going to read the problem-solving questions out loud so that you know what you're supposed to be doing. The idea is that after I read the directions, that you will pause it. You'll pause the video. So after I read these directions for the first problem, you can pause the video and complete the problem. And before that way I don't go on to the next one before you are done. This way we can all work at our own pace and get problems done as quickly or as slowly as we need to so we can ensure we get them correct. Because it's better to go slow and get them correct than speed through it and get a lot wrong. So I'll start reading the problems. You will pause it after I read the directions for each problem so you can finish your work. And this also means if you didn't understand the directions the first time, you can just rewind and listen again. So don't be afraid to listen again if you are still not totally sure what to do after hearing it the first time. Sometimes we need to hear things a couple times before it really sinks in and we understand. So this is your Chapter 1 test. This is what is sitting in front of you. First problem, directions. Look at the numbers. Write the 4 numbers that belong in the pattern. So a couple things I'm going to say about this problem before you pause it. You need to be trying to identify what they are counting by. Are they counting by ones? Are they counting by fives? Are they counting by tens? Or are they counting by twos? They could be counting by ones, twos, fives, tens. So you have to identify what you believe they are skip counting by, and then fill in the missing blanks. And you have to skip count by the same number that they began skip counting in. So be sure you figure out what they're counting by before you fill in the blanks. Go ahead and pause it so you can complete these 4 lines right here, and then I will be ready to read the next one. Directions for the next one. Fill in the chart with the missing numbers or drawings. So here you have number form or standard form. That's just your typical number, like 45. Just the regular way we write a number. Then you will fill it in with tens and ones. Then you will fill it in expanded form and then picture form. Now you'll notice in this one they gave you 45, so they want you to figure out the tens and ones, the expanded form, and the picture. But if you look to the second one, they give you just the picture. So you have to use this picture that you see to fill in the expanded form, the tens and ones, and then what is the number in standard form. On this one, you have just expanded form given to you. So you have to fill in the picture, the tens and ones, and the standard form based off what this number is, this 60 plus 8. On the last one, you're only given tens and ones. So based on what you see here for tens and ones, you have to fill in the number, the expanded form, and the picture. Every single one of these boxes should have something in it. So if there is a box that is blank with blank lines, then it is not totally finished. So make sure every box is filled in. Go ahead and pause it so you can complete your problem. On this next page, you are supposed to write the standard form of the number in word form. It says use the table below to help. Remember, word form is when I spell out my number with letters. So 47, for example, I've got to go over to my table and find 40, and then I have to go down and find 7. Okay, I have to write out my 47. I'm going to write it out just like I would say the word. 23. Okay, so you're on each of these lines, you're going to fill in the word form using this table up here to help you spell. Go ahead and pause it so you can write each number in word form. On this next one, it says identify if the number is even or odd. So 42, 21, 7. All you're doing is writing even or odd on each line. Go ahead and pause it so you can finish that up. Next, you are going to solve, then identify if the number is even or odd. 5 plus 5 is that even or odd? So you have to do the addition sentence, write your answer, and then on this line right here, you're writing even or odd. Go ahead, pause so you can complete that. Below this, it says draw and circle the value of the underlined digit. Okay, so what they want you to do is look at this 2 and 27. Is the value of that 2, is it 20 or is it 2? So you will circle the one you think is correct. What's the value of that digit? 20 or 2? Then you draw the value. So if you think the value is 20, you'll draw 2 tens rods. Now this one is a little tricky, so make sure you might want to listen to the directions a couple of times so that you do it correctly. You are not drawing the number 27. You're just drawing the value of this 2 in the tens place. So I would first circle, do I think the value of this 2 is 20 or 2? Whichever one I circle, that's the picture I draw. If I think the value is 20, I draw 2 tens rods. I won't draw the 7 ones because they're only asking me about the 2, not the 7. So if you need to listen to those directions a couple of times, please do so. Otherwise, pause it so you can complete these 4 questions. All right, very last page, almost there. This first one says, Sarah counts by ones. She starts at 46 and stops at 62. Which of these numbers will she say? Circle them. So if I were you, I'm just counting by ones. I would count to myself. She's going to say 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, and so on, all the way to 62. Which of these numbers did you say when you counted? If you said the number as you counted, you need to circle it. If you did not say it while you counted, then you don't circle it. You do the same thing for this one. Martin counts by fives. He starts at 10 and stops at 50. Which of these numbers will he say? Circle them. So you got to really pay attention to the fact that he starts at 10, counts by fives, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on. Which of these numbers will he say? If he says it, you're going to circle it. If he will not say it, you will not circle it. Go ahead and pause it so you can complete that. As you've come back, you should be at the end of your test. Now, the most important part about testing is to look over your work, right? I'm not going to just finish the last problem and turn it in. I'm going to go back to the top and check it. Make sure I skip counted by the correct number. Make sure I filled in this entire table. Make sure I understand what I'm doing for word form. Make sure I listed even or odd, and I listed the correct one. Make sure I followed directions for this problem, and make sure I counted appropriately so that I circled the right numbers. Check your work, make sure your name is on your test, and when you are done, you may turn it in.